The scholars such as Shaykh Rabee, Shaykh Ubayd, Shaykh Muhammad ibn Haadee, and others have been asked about conferences that have been organized in the name of Salafiyah, but they have been organized by the followers and the supporters and the defenders of Abu Hassan al-Ma'rabi. And you heard what Shaykh Rabee said. And by the defenders and the promoters of the usul and the qawaid of the Mubtadi Dal Ali al-Halabi. And at some of those conferences, they have invited those individuals who have been refuted by the scholars. And at their conferences you will find the likes of Ibrahim al-Ruhaili, who has been refuted by Shaykh Rabee in a book. Abdullah Bukhari refuted him in a book. Shaykh Ubayd al-Jabri has refuted him. Shaykh Muhammad ibn Haadee has refuted him. And a group of scholars have refuted him for his misguidance. And they are inviting him. So our scholars such as Shaykh Rabee, Shaykh Abdullah Bukhari, Shaykh Muhammad ibn Haadee, Shaykh Ubayd ibn Abdullah al-Jabri, that they have warned and cautioned from attending those gatherings for the reasons, walillahi alhamd, that Shaykh Abdullah al-Dhufayri mentioned yesterday. What did he say? Do not attend them and do not attend the gatherings of the people of Hizbiyah and Bid'ah and those who are known to be defenders of the usul of Ma'rabi and Ali al-Halabi and other than them such as al-Maghrawi. That these people are known to be people of Bid'ah. And these organizers of those conferences promote their works and they attack the scholars. Like for example, some of them say about Shaykh Rabee that he attacks Ahlus Sunnah and Shaykh Rabee has gone to extremes and so on. And they speak against Shaykh Ubayd al-Jabri and they speak against Muhammad ibn Haadee. That's just what they say about the scholars. And speaking about the scholars in itself is enough for you to know the deviation and misguidance of a person. Never mind the fact that they defend the usul of al-Ma'rabi on their websites. And they attack the scholars who refuted al-Ma'rabi. And they defend the usul and the qawaid of Ali al-Halabi. And al-Maghrawi, who have been refuted by the likes of Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen and others. So now these individuals organize conferences in the name of Sunnah, that we are upon the Sunnah. So we don't attend them because it was not from the manhaj of the Salaf to attend the gatherings of the people of misguidance. Number two, that we don't attend their gatherings, as Shaykh Ubayd mentioned, because you do not increase the numbers of the people of misguidance by joining them. Number three, that the Kitab and the Sunnah and the way of the Salaf by Ijma teaches us to hate the Mukhalifeen and the people of misguidance who call to Bid'ah. And those Marakis, the heads of those Marakis call to Bid'ah. And they're upon Bid'ah, which is apparent from their websites and from their writings and their translations of the works of Ali al-Halabi and their translations of other than them from the people of Bid'ah. And year in and year out you see them inviting al-Maghrawi and distributing upon their websites PDFs translated from the writings of Ali al-Halabi. Look what Shaykh Rabee just said to you. He said, spread this to the people. He said, we have refuted Ali al-Halabi and al-Ma'rabi. Spread that to the people so that they may be cautioned. So those people who organize those events and they use the names of some of the mashayikh who are upon khair to entice you, then Abdullah al-Dhufayri said yesterday, then that is a mistake on their behalf and you are not to attend. There is a mistake on their behalf and you are not to attend. Because the Kitab and the Sunnah and the way of the Salaf teaches you to despise the opposers of the Sunnah and the people of misguidance. Shaykh Ahmed al-Najmi, over a decade ago, declared those individuals to be people of misguidance. Declared them to be Mubtadi'ah. Al-Ma'rabi and those who follow them, who follow him and agree with him and defend him to this day. And Ali al-Halabi, like Shaykh Rabee said, if Ali al-Halabi is not a Mubtadi', then there is no Mubtadi' upon the ard. And you heard the deviations of al-Halabi. that there must be ijma' before the jarh becomes binding upon a person. And this is batil. What is binding upon you is the haqq. Whether one scholar said it or 1,000 scholars said it. You don't say, let me weigh up and the majority, let me see what the majority say. You are bound by the truth. This is what binds you. Not ijma'. The kitab and the sunnah. If it is established from the book and the sunnah in opposition to the haqq, then you are bound by that, even if there is no ijma'. And the Salaf never waited for ijma'. And you heard the narration yesterday of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, rahimahullah, when Dawood bin Ali al-Zahiri al-Asbahani came to see Imam Ahmad, and Imam Ahmad refused to see him because of what was said by Muhammad bin Yahya al-Dhuhli and Naysaburi. He said that it has been narrated to me by Muhammad bin Yahya al-Dhuhli that this Dawood bin Ali al-Zahiri has spoken with Khalqul Quran. So I will not allow him into my house. So Saleh bin Ahmed, he went back and he said to him that my father says that he does not want to see you because it has been narrated to him that you're upon this, that you agree with the bid'ah of Khalqul Quran, that the Quran is created. He said, Wallahi, this is not true. So he went back to his father, and his father said, Muhammad bin Yahya al-Dhuhli narrated to me, and he is awthaq minhu, and he is more trustworthy than him. So he went back and he turned him away from the door. Where's the ijma' now? Al-Karabisi, from the students of al-Shafi'i, and he was regarded to be from the great ulama of his time. Al-Karabisi, he spoke with regard to lafdul Quran, not even khalqul Quran. He brought an ambiguity with regard to the Quran. He said that my recitation of the Quran is created just to make things ambiguous. And Imam Ahmad spotted what he was trying to do to bring that doubt in. So that would lead eventually to the statement that the Quran itself is created. So Imam Ahmad did not wait for an ijma'. He refuted him. He said, don't sit with Karabisi. And what did they say about Karabisi? That Abu Thawr, the Imam of Ahlul Sunnah, Abu Thawr, they said that Abu Thawr did not even have 1/10 of the knowledge of Al-Karabisi. Yet Imam Ahmad refuted Al-Karabisi and he fell. He praised Abu Thawr and he was raised in the eyes of the people, even though he only had 1/10 of the knowledge of Al-Karabisi. And when Karabisi was refuted, Imam Ahmad did not wait for ijma' because he knew the haqq. And this is what drives them. And that's what Shaykh Ubayd said in his refutation of Ali al-Halabi. He said that when a person knows the deviation of a person and his bid'ah, then he is bound to declare him to be a person of bid'ah. If you know, you are bound. You don't now wait for 20, 30, 40 other scholars. So the ulama, if an alim knows, he is bound. And he is bound by the truth, not by ijma'. Well, I have to wait till everyone agrees with me, then I will say it is the haqq. Up until everyone agrees with me, then I am not forced, and I will not force, and I will not compel. Where did this qaida come from, as Shaykh Rabee and Shaykh Muhammad bin Haadee said? Where did they get this qaida batila? That you must wait for ijma'. Yaqub bin Shaybah, in the time of Imam Ahmad, Allahu A'lam if he was of the level of Karabisi, but Imam Dhahabi describes him in his knowledge. He said he was an imam in ilm, allama in hadith, scholar, Yaqub bin Shaybah. Then he was convinced by some of the people around him to speak with lafdul Quran, that my recitation is created. Just an ambiguous term. And Imam Ahmad refuted him. And the rest of the scholars, they refuted him. He had a musnad, 30 volumes. Yaqub bin Shaybah. Musnad in hadith, 30 volumes. But that did not stop Imam Ahmad when he heard this bid'ah from him. How many innovations did he hear from him? One. They say, Ya akhi, at least wait for 5. Which bid'ah? Not the bid'ah that was sariha, not the innovation that was clear-cut. Khalqul Quran. It was ambiguous. My recitation of the Quran, my recital, it is created. Meaning, he said, you know what they try to say is that if we begin by saying my recital, meaning my tongue, my voice box, it is created, then eventually Imam Ahmed said, that what they intend to do is lead to saying that the Quran itself is created. So it wasn't the bid'ah that was clear-cut. That was the bid'ah kufriya of the khalqul Quran, that the Quran is created. They just came with this ambiguous term to deceive the people. And Imam Ahmed said about him, Sahib bid'ah. Yaqub bin Shaybah, for that one comment. Who had the audacity to oppose Imam Ahmed in that? Who had the strength to say, Ahmed, the scholars, they differ. Khalas, we'll wait for ijma'. What does Yahya bin Ma'in say? What does Ali Madini say? What does Abdurrahman Mahdi had passed away by then, but what does Fulan say? What does Fulan say? Imam al-Dhahabi said, thereafter, over 1,000 scholars of hadith refuted Yaqub bin Shaybah. Imam Ahmed said, Shaykh Rabee said, look at how the scholars of hadith were in their jarh. Then he wait for any ijma'. What ijma'? So with regard to these types of conferences, then upon the advice of Shaykh Rabee and the advice of Shaykh Muhammad ibn Haadee and the advice of Shaykh Ubayd al-Jabiri, you don't attend. And when they come and call you for a sitting, will you sit? Islah? Say, we will sit in the house of Shaykh Rabee. Come. Because Shaykh Rabee, there is no one on this earth, to our knowledge, Allahu A'lam, who is more knowledgeable of the innovations of Ali al-Halabi, Abu al-Hasan al-Ma'rabi, Ihya Turath al-Islami, and those groups. And that's why Shaykh al-Albani said about him what he said about him. With regard to his knowledge of the jama'at and the firq and the tawa'if and the rijal and the ashkhas and the mubtadi'ah, there is no one like Shaykh Rabee. But since the issue is revolving around Ali al-Halabi, al-Maghrawi, Ihya al-Turath, al-Ma'rabi, then who is the one who is more expert in the knowledge of these people than Shaykh Rabee? Let's sit with Shaykh Rabee. You want a sitting? 10th of March, we are going. We will be there for 14 days. Shaykh Rabee, walillahi alhamd, opens the doors to those whom he knows, and we have known him. Hafithahullah ta'ala, he is our father. And we do not praise anyone and glorify anyone beyond Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we will be there between the 10th and the 24th of March. Go to the house of Shaykh Rabee and so show Shaykh Rabee your translations of Ali al-Halabi and Abdul Malik Ramadani, who Shaykh Abdullah Bukhari, he said that he is a kadhab munharif. Not me, Shaykh Abdullah Bukhari, hafithahullah, said that about him. You put their translations on your website and you attack Ahlul Sunnah. You translate the writings of Salim al-Tawil against Ahlul Sunnah and against Shaykh Ubayd and against Shaykh Muhammad bin Haadee. And then you have the audacity to claim that you want Islah. You revile Ahl al-Ilm and the ulama al-Kibar. You revile Shaykh Rabee. You revile Shaykh Ubayd. You revile Shaykh Muhammad. Openly in public you translate writings against them from the munharifeen and from those who have nothing but rancor and jealousy for Ahlul Ilm and Salafi and the Salafi scholars. And you put those articles on your website and then you say you want Islah. What Islah do you want? You want rectification. Make tawbah. Make tarajo. Be sincere to Allah. Be truthful and have sidq. Have taqwa of Allah and fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And take down those attacks against the ulama al-kibar. Take down your slanders against Shaykh Ubayd that you translated from Salim al-Tawil. Take down your slanders against Muhammad ibn Haadee. Take down your slanders against Shaykh Rabee that you translated from Ali al-Halabi. Take down your slanders that you translated from Abu al-Hasan al-Ma'rabi against Shaykh Muhammad ibn Haadee. And then we may consider that you truly want Islah. And sit in the house of Shaykh Rabee and apologize to the one that you slandered because he's alive. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve him. And sit in front of Shaykh Ubayd and seek forgiveness from the one that you slandered and you lied upon and you reviled, and do the same with Abdullah Bukhari and do the same with Muhammad ibn Haadee. Kadhabun, that you want Islah. It is not Islah that you want. It is a joke that you want to make out of this da'wah and play games with the minds of the shabab and the youth. Walhamdulillah, nahnu rijal, lasna atfal. Alhamdulillah, we are rijal, we are men. We are fathers and grandfathers. And we have been upon this da'wah and with our mashayikh for 20 years and 25 years. We know our scholars. And you will not come. You will not now come and attack Shaykh Rabee and expect us to remain silent on your websites as you attack them. And those mashayikh that you invite, alhamdulillah, we have no problem with them. But just because you have lied to them doesn't mean that the rest of the scholars are blind to your lies. And the rest of the scholars are ignorant or deaf to your lies. Shaykh Ubayd knows. Shaykh Ahmed Najmi knew. Shaykh Zayd al-Madkhali knew. Rahimahumullah. And Shaykh Muhammad bin Haadee knows. Shaykh Abdullah Bukhari knows. Shaykh Rabee knows. So no, we will not travel to your markaz for this so-called Islah. 15 years Shaykh Rabee has been calling you. Since 2000 Shaykh Rabee has been encouraging you and inviting you to follow the truth and to stick to sidq and stop lying and stop deceiving. None of that affected you. Muhammad bin Haadee didn't affect you. Abdullah Bukhari didn't affect you. The adillah, the proofs and evidences in thousands of pages of writing upon the website sahab.net or rabi.net, the websites of the scholars, miraf.net, all of those adillah, proof, evidences. And now you have this Ali al-Halabi that you say is an alim, a scholar. This Ali al-Halabi who said that there is no, and the Shaykh Rabee bin Haadee is more harmful upon da'wah to Salafiyya than Sayyid Qutb. And you want Islah? Are you Majnoon or are we Majnoon? Alhamdulillah, not us, you. Make tawbah, fear Allah. Sit down for what? We're going to discuss whether Shaykh Rabee is worse than Sayyid Qutb. You want Islah to discuss that? You want Islah to discuss that ijma' is a prerequisite before compelling someone to follow the truth? You want us to argue with you upon qawaid batila, ghariba, ajiba? You want us to argue with you and debate with you about that? Go to the house of Shaykh Rabee, Muhammad ibn Haadee, Abdullah Bukhari, Ubayd bin Abdullah al-Jabiri. Go and sit with the ulama of Medina. You want to know about Ibrahim Ruhaili? Read the Nasiha of Shaykh Rabee bin Haadee regarding Ibrahim Ruhaili. Read the Rad of Shaykh Abdullah Bukhari and the tapes and the audios of Muhammad ibn Haadee and the articles of Shaykh Ubayd bin Abdullah al-Jabiri and Sahab against Ibrahim Ruhaili and his deviations from the haqq. So no, we will not be attending your conferences. وسبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.